Welcome back to Classic Sports Moments. I'm your host, Jackson Overstreet. Today we have the tale of the Colorado Rockies and their 2007 National League wildcard playing game versus the San Diego Padres. This game is best known for its highly controversial play-at-the-plate ending in which Matt Holliday was called safe at home when there wasn't clear evidence of him touching the plate. This game was a signature moment in Colorado Rockies history, as it was part of their 21 wins and 22 game streak that led them to the National League pennant in 2007. And now for the story of Game 163, the 2007 wildcard play-in game. It's in the dog days of summer that we step into our story. The Rockies were sitting 4 games over 500 at the end of August, and 6 games back of the NL West leading Arizona Diamondbacks and San Diego Padres. By September 16th, there were 7 games back of the D-backs and 5 back of the Padres, who at this time were leading the wild card standings. It would be this inauspicious September day, the 16th, that a run to the wild card and the pennant would begin. 19,161. That's how many were on hand at Coors Field for the final game of a 3-game set between the Rockies and then Florida Marlins. The Rockies had lost the first 2 games in the series and 3 overall before this. This type of swoon late in the playoff race can be deadly for a team's hope, but this team had something else planned. They were about to shock the world. A 13-0 rout of the Marlins that included Todd Helton's 300th career home run started things off right, mainly boosting the confidence of a young team. Just 2 weeks later, home run number 301 would be even bigger. Down 8-7 to the Los Angeles Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th, all the momentum built up in the past 2 wins was about to be wiped out. The Dodgers had their all-star closer, Takashi Saito, on the mound. They only needed 1 more out, but as he'd done so many times before, Todd Helton came to the plate to make history. On a 1-2 pitch, Saito went to his trusty slider to strike out the old lefty, but the slider was just the pitch Todd was looking for. He sent that ball into the cool Colorado air, 418 feet away into the stands. Celebration ensued, most of all from the then 34-year-old first baseman, who threw his helmet high into the air as he ran on third and sprinted towards the mob waiting for him at home plate. The club would win their next 8 games, sweeping the Dodgers twice and the Padres once. Friday, September 28th would be the only time the Rockies lost during the streak. The game was billed as a heavyweight brawl between them and the Arizona Diamondbacks, who were leading the NL West. Each team had their ace on the mound. It was the first game of the last regular season series of the year, and the Rockies had won 12 straight. Brandon Webb of the D-backs outdueled Jeff Francis in a 4-2 loss. At this point, the Rockies were eliminated from winning the NL West, being 3 games back of the D-backs with 2 to play, but they still had a glimmer of hope. They were only 2 games back of the San Diego Padres with 2 to play. What they needed to do were win their next 2 games, while the Padres lose their next 2 games to the Milwaukee Brewers, and they could force a game 163 in Denver on October 1st. And what do you know? The baseball gods obliged. The Rockies won the last 2 games of their series, and the Brewers won theirs, forcing game 163 the next day, in October 1st, at Coors Field. The baseball world transfixed its gaze on Coors Field in that cool October evening. Would the upstart Rockies continue their winning ways to grab their first wild card berth since 1995, or would the rival Padres come into town and snatch it away? The game was a back-and-forth extra innings affair, with the Padres scoring 2 in the top of the 13th to take an 8-6 lead. Going into the bottom of the 13th, the Padres sent out their future Hall of Fame closer, Trevor Hoffman, to finish off the Rockies. But these boys had other plans. It started with a double by Troy Tulowitzki to bring the Rockies within 1, and then a triple by MVP candidate Matt Holliday to tie the game up with 8 and 1 out. Coming to the plate was super utility infielder Jamie Carroll. What happened next would be a part of baseball lore. Carroll hit the ball in the shallow right field, but just deep enough for Holliday to make a run for home. It seemed as time slowed down as Holliday began his sprint to the plate, the ball moving in perfect unison with him, planning on arriving at the plate just as he did. Sliding headfirst into the catcher, Holliday knocked the ball free of his mitt and grazing the edge of the plate. The umpire, seeing the ball loose, called Holliday's save, which in turn ended the game and sent Coors and all of Denver into a frenzy. Looking back on the play now, though, it's still highly debated whether or not Holliday actually touched the plate. We may never find out if Holliday actually touched the plate. But, as the old saying goes, history is written by the victors, and in this case, history is written by the Rockies, and Matt Holliday touched the plate. And that concludes our time on Classic Sports Moments. I am your host, Jack Overstreet, and I hope you have a wonderful start to the rest of your week.